Round 3 of the Women's Six Nations done and dusted, and there were some amazing performances. In this video, I'm going to review and analyse them, as well as looking ahead to what round 4 offers. First up, I'm going to go through England-Scotland. Now, Scotland coming into this game in a really strong position. They'd beaten Wales in Wales for the first time in 20 years. They'd held France to just 15-5, a really close and hard-fought performance. So going into it, they could feel as confident as they could be facing England. But when it came down to it, England were just far too strong. This is a side that is going from not performing against Italy to looking very impressive against Wales and looking next level against Scotland. I thought this was going to be a 30-point game, but actually England just far too strong and got 46 points and nilled Scotland. In the first half, I thought Hannah Bottoman was outstanding, put in such a shift. Really good work rate from her, line breaks, but she's known for getting turnovers as well, which isn't that common amongst front rowers, but she was integral to how England started that first half. Fellow front rower Amy Cockayne, on her first game back in a year, got a red card from having 2 yellows, so not the return she would have wanted, as she was looking performance-wise really good. Now this leads to questions about England's discipline. That's 2 red cards in 2 of the 3 games so far in the Six Nations. Lou Meadows, England attack coach, said she's not worried about England having a discipline problem, and the way that they want to play is going to lead to being more high risk. I actually don't agree with this, because it's not like it's pushing the boundaries. One was a very dangerous crocodile roll, and rightly so, was a red card. The other one was shoulder to head. Those are things that are practiced relentlessly in training, and those aren't part and parcel of playing a more high-risk attacking style of rugby. Chloe Rollie was a standout player for Scotland, and unfortunately for Scotland, though, they just couldn't get her that ball in space to see the damage that she could do. England defence was just ruthless and cut it down, but when she did get glimpses, she did manage to get in and cause England problems. Now onto the England backline, something that I've been really excited about since the start of the tournament. I think Meg Jones was absolutely outstanding, and she is really making that 13 shirt hers. The speed at which she has, the handling ability, she was involved in a lot of those tries that England scored, just being able to put people away, but the best one for me was her footballing skills. When the kick through came, she was chasing and managed to get right foot to it to kick it back inside to Ellie Kildun, who did a fantastic finish with the pick up and finish there as well. Ellie Kildun this year has been absolutely on fire. I think her improvement since World Cup has been immeasurable. She really is putting her hand up to be the best fullback in the world. Now that's high praise for a youngster, but her area skills, her finishing, her tackling, she is really cementing that 15 shirt. Summarising England-Scotland, Scotland had been looking brave, looking like they'd had some improved performances, but England fundamentally just being too strong, too fast, too ruthless for them. And now on to Ireland, Wales, and wow, what a result. 36 points to 5 to Ireland, which I don't think anybody predicted such a big win ahead of this fixture. Scott Beamond, when he took over as head Ireland coach, said he wanted them to come 3rd in the Six Nations. Now, for the first 2 rounds, especially that Italy game, it looked like that was almost laughable, but them turning up against Wales in the way that they did just showed exactly what this team is capable of, and it really clicked for them. 2 standout players for Ireland were Wafer. She is next level. Her first score, she took 3 players with her over that try line. The other player I think who had a massive impact for Ireland was O'Brien. Last round, I feel that tactically she wasn't there, and execution-wise wasn't there either, but this week, she put that all right. The way she orchestrated how they played, bringing in the forwards when it was needed, but also getting it wide, giving the speedsters their opportunity as well. I thought it was a really well tactically managed game, and also her kicking, but in-game kicking, but also for posts was spot on. Now flip it around to Wales, and I think there are some real concerns there. Wales at times just didn't look interested in defence at all, which in a must-win game for them is a real issue. And this has led to questions being asked about the professional contracts. Are they making enough of a difference as they should be? Really, the answer to that is no. They've been in place for a while now, and you would expect to see those Welsh players performing better consistently. Now, of course, they did play very well against England. I know big scoreline against them might say otherwise, but actually the way that they played, they had energy, they were feisty, they had that fire about them, and they just did not show up to Ireland with that, whether it's complacency, but as I said, at times it just didn't look interested at all. So to summarise, really great to see what Ireland can do and playing to full capacity, but worrying times for Wales. Now moving on to France, Italy. I was convinced ahead of this game that we haven't seen the best of what France had to offer, but especially in the first half, we got to see glimpses of that. I was out in Paris for this on commentary, and I have to say the atmosphere was fantastic. The French just really get it right, and they know how to host. France started really, really strong, scoring in a matter of minutes against Italy, and they looked dangerous from the off. Condé on the first kick chase put in a massive hit. They got the turnover, their energy was good. They were making line breaks, doing offloads, putting little dinks in behind, but a good chase on it. But in the end, it was their handling out wide to get it to Condé for her finish for the first try. Condé and her fella centre partnership with Gabrielle Vernier seems to be one that is really, really clicking, and they are looking very dangerous. But it certainly wasn't just the French backs who were carving up. The forwards put in an incredible shift. Loosehead prop, Kalfawi got player of the match, and rightly so. She was absolutely everywhere. Fellow forward in back rower Charlotte Escudero was fantastic at getting those turnovers. France got nearly double figures of turnovers because they were just so quick at that jackal. So anyone who is playing against them is going to have to be really quick in supporting, because otherwise those turnovers are going to happen. The other thing that stood out to me from the French was their ability and bravery to play from anywhere. They got a turnover right on their own try line, and through the likes of Pauline Bourdon-Sansus, managed to run it out, and they scored there. Whenever they got a scoring opportunity, they pretty much took it, which makes them a very dangerous team in attack. Italy were just late to the party. The first half, they just didn't really show up. They made errors at crucial times that were very costly to them. Their line out, a real area of concern that they're going to need to get sorted ahead of next weekend. But Italy in the last 20 minutes did seem to come alive, and they played with that confidence and belief, which they should have done from the whistle, but they seemed to save it until it was too little too late. Alisa Dinka, the left winger, had a fantastic finish, beating defenders, going round the outside, really showing her pace and flair. So to summarise, France looking very, very dangerous in attack. I do think they need to be a bit more ruthless in the last 20 minutes and put sides away, especially when facing sides like England. They really need to be able to keep their foot on the pedal rather than ease off because it's won. Italy needs to back themselves more, because there is talent in that squad, and they can produce brilliant line breaks and scores, but they need to believe in themselves and do it right from the off. And Honeybear has come to join us ahead of our preview of round 4. Ireland have the daunting task of heading to Twickenham to face England in front of a very, very big crowd. And whilst they're going to be boosted and full of confidence after their very impressive win against Wales, the England defence is not going to be anything like that Welsh defence. The English defence has been absolutely ruthless. So Ireland won't be enjoying as much time on the ball as they had against Wales. So I'm going to predict a strong performance from Ireland, especially that first 20. I think they're going to come out firing, and Wayfarer is going to cause England problems just with how strong a runner she is. But that said, England's pack, their pace, their ruthless ability in attack and defence, I think they will win comfortably, especially at the home of rugby. Scotland have the better tactical game, and they use their kickers very well and have good finishers out wide as well as strong ball carriers. Although I think if Italy click, especially a home advantage, they might just clinch it, but only if they can get their line out sorted. I think this is going to be the closest game of the weekend. They will both go into this game thinking that they will win it. I think it's going to be high scoring, but it's going to be very close. And then finally, Wales, France. So Wales, it depends which Wales turn up, because France could easily put 50 points on if the Wales side that turned up to face Ireland turn up to face France. If the Welsh side that played England turn up, then that's going to be a closer game. But ultimately, I think that France's flair and their finishing ability will put Wales away. So round 4 predictions, I'm going with England comfortably, Italy only just, and France by quite some margin. Would love to get your thoughts on the video, whether it's on round 3 or on round 4. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe for more rugby content.